I'm Seth Ratliff.
And I'm Cole Sams. And our top story tonight, the Wyoming Department of Transportation is in the final stages of building a temporary detour around the Teton Pass collapse. Teachers in D91 could ratify a new pay agreement for the 2024-2025 school year as early as tomorrow night. Pride Month is coming to an end this weekend, with the Gate City ending June hosting a big celebration. The Pocatello Senior Center hosted a special Juneteenth celebration this afternoon. It was time to blast off today in Pocatello.
I'm Seth Ratliff.
And I'm Cole Sams. In our top story tonight, we have new information on the man who passed away in a deadly plane crash on Thursday near Arco. Yeah, guys, I'm standing outside of the Lobs apartment complex here in historic downtown Pocatello on North Main Street, where a significant fire caused major damage to one of the buildings behind me. But thanks to the help and work of 2 Pocatello firefighters, that was all the damage that was done. On a rainy day here at the Bannock County Courthouse, there was a new twist in the case against Lance Peck, the former owner of the Downard Funeral Home. Peck now faces additional felony charges, along with the 63 misdemeanors that he is currently charged with. It was a special Memorial Day here at the Bannock County Veterans Memorial Building, honoring the legacy of a Pocatello hero. It's the first food truck roundup of the year here at Lookout Point, and from boba tea to barbecue, the food has become a fan favorite here in the community. We are just a few days away from the Independence Day celebration here in Blackfoot and here at Jensen's Grove. They can't wait to start things off with a bang. Enrollment is up here at Idaho State University, and for many high schoolers here in the Gem State, it's become their next step. It was a great day here at the Pocatello Regional Airport with the new addition of a flight to and from Salt Lake. And while the flight may be short, it provides long-term sustainability for the airport. The Idaho Food Bank is holding their annual Hope for the Holidays campaign, striving to make a difference here in the community, one donation at a time. For almost the entire summer so far, the people here in Blackfoot have got to enjoy Jensen's Grove in its entirety, but here in the last few weeks, the grove has dried up significantly. Slow down while traveling through work zones and pay close attention to signs and signals. It's the annual free day here at Zoo Idaho, and the price has definitely brought out the people, with thousands of people flocking to the zoo to see what they have to offer. And for all of these projects, they will help make driving safe in the future. But in the meantime, it's important for drivers to stay safe here in the present. For Local News 8, I'm Cole Sams. Now, the cause of the fire still remains under investigation. An assessment of the property and the damage took place earlier today. But what these 2 men proved is that you can replace a building, but you can't replace people. And we applaud these 2 men for their heroic effort in helping save lives. Reporting live here in Pocatello, I'm Cole Sams. Back to you guys. The water curtailment in Idaho has become a major hot topic for many of our local farmers. But for Brian Murdoch, it's become more than just controversial. For generations, Brian Murdoch and his ancestors have been farmers in Bingham County, growing the potatoes that we eat every day.
This is our 135th year of farming here. We are one of the oldest potato growing families of Idaho. There's a lot of responsibility.
His way of living has taken a recent turn, with the state ordering a water curtailment of 500,000 acres, or what Murdoch says is 781 square miles of farmland. The state believes they need to replenish the eastern Snake River Plain aquifer.
We could fix this problem after the growing season is over. As I like to say, the aquifer wasn't made in 1 year. We can't break it in 1 year, but the state and the Idaho Department of Water Resources will certainly break East Idaho in 1 year. Or in fact, they'll break us in 3 weeks.
Murdoch believes the farmers in southern Idaho are benefiting from the curtailment, but says there isn't a problem with their current water supply.
This curtailment is not necessary, especially right now. There is no farmer in southern Idaho off of the Twin Falls Canal that is going to experience a water shortage this year. It's impossible.
Murdoch says his farm grows 23 million large orders of McDonald's French fries and 16 million loaves of bread. He says he is facing a $3 million loss if the curtailment stays in effect.
As you see behind us, there's potatoes that are in need of water at this particular moment. We are at a very critical stage in the potato production because these plants, we will stunt the growth this is when we will damage ourselves for sure because of lack of water.
Murdoch says his farm makes up less than 1% of the land that makes up the curtailment, but believes his land and the other 99% should be a priority for the state's protection going forward.
This is the state's water. We do not disagree with that. We have only been granted a right to get that water, but the state issued that right, and we build our lives upon that right. And for the state to come in at this point in time and say that right is no longer valid, you are curtailed, especially mid-season at a very critical time for our crops, that is very frustrating.
For Local News 8, I'm Cole Sams. Since April of 2022, America Health and Summit's Safe and Sober Living has provided housing and treatment for patients battling drug and alcohol addiction. But as of last week, they are no longer in operation. Allison Robles has only worked here a month, but after finding out she was losing her job, she volunteered to work for free to help find new treatment options for her clients.
I've had quite a few of the clients tell me, well, what's the point? Like, why don't I just go do this? And I just keep telling them the same thing that everybody else is telling them. It's not worth it. That their recovery is worth it, and what they were doing was something good.
Sasha Witchler also lost her job due to the decision.
In the end, I got to do what's best for me and my family and those that I have with me down in the area that I live, but I also care a lot about not only the staff, but the clients. I want to make sure that they're getting what they need and they're not just being up and abandoned type thing.
Due to their probation, some of the clients that use this facility were court ordered to live here. And with days to find a new rehab center and a new home, patients like James Thompson are fearful for what's next.
I mean, speaking as myself as a drug addict for over 20 years, I've had, and I say to you, and I stress this, have the best sobriety I've ever had. They took the one thing that I've had from me, and I realized that, I need this myself personally to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. But when you're in the process of learning this, I'm still like an infant, and it's like they just kick me back to crawling. I'm scared.
I spoke with the owners of the facility about the clients getting kicked out of their residence. In a statement, they said, quote, "No tenants were told they needed to leave their apartments. Tenants whose contracts are up that do not want to renew will be leaving. We are no longer offering group services and have referred clients that want or need those to other companies," end quote. The outpatient clients can still renew their leases. However, with treatment ending at the facility, the inpatient clients will need to find another facility. Thompson says he's unsure what's next for him, saying it's difficult to find a place with his background.
Compassion goes a long ways, and when you set someone up with sobriety and this level of love and care, and then you just leave them destitute and hopeless, it's not right.
For Local News 8, I'm Cole Sams. It was a packed house in the Bannock County Courthouse for Tuesday's public hearing with the county commissioners. After months of deliberation, the commissioners drafted an ordinance that would ban large-scale wind and solar projects in Bannock County. Both sides of the argument were presented, which was considered in the final conclusion.
We come to the conclusion in a 2-to-1 vote that we would not allow industrial solar or wind in Bannock County at this time.
Many speakers that were against the ban were representatives from power companies across the country, including Chicago, Denver, and Phoenix. Downey residents also voiced their concerns on a ban, including Linton Bastion.
I'm not in favor of the ban. I don't believe that it is encouraging for landowners and that it endorses or encourages property rights. I think that it infringes upon that, what people can do with their land, what they see fit.
Bastion believes bringing solar and wind energy to Downey will be beneficial to future generations.
The biggest one that holds dear to my heart is the school district. The school district stands to miss out on over $500,000 from this, and that is a large sum of money that could go towards our kids' education. And I have 6 kids. I want them to grow up through my school district. This is where I graduated from. And to me now, this feels like that they're never going to receive those funds, in which I at least had some part to play in.
Many speakers also voiced their support for the ban, including Bannock County resident Diana Troyer.
I was grateful that 2 commissioners supported the ban. Utility scale wind and solar are amazingly unreliable and inefficient based on simple nonpartisan laws of physics, and yet we as taxpayers are expected to subsidize this.
Troyer told me she believes that their tax money would be better invested in natural gas, clean coal, and nuclear energy.
County farmers are very innovative. They've been around for centuries, and they've been able to exist just fine without subsidies from solar and wind.
Commissioner Ernie Moser says a decision like this can be challenging when it's concerning someone's property.
Every ordinance, every law, whether it's state, county, city, it either protects somebody's property rights or it takes somebody's property rights away. So that's a big decision, a tough decision.
And while the ban is now official, Moser says their decision can be adjusted as time and more information comes forward.
The county, the commissioners are always looking for avenues, but it's got to be the right avenue. Just because it's going to bring money into the county doesn't mean that it's the right thing.
For Local News 8, I'm Cole Sams. What a time it was here at the 4th of July Parade in Pocatello. A great day for families, floats, and a whole lot of fun. This parade was truly a one of a kind. From a dog, to a Disney princess, to a diamondback. How about riding on a unicycle, or taking your best shot at a karate chop? The smiles were felt at every corner, and the community definitely had a good time. Did you guys have a fun time here at the parade?
Yeah! I loved it.
10 out of 10.
It was a blast.
It was a great float, great parade.
And for those that were here, they had all sorts of answers for their favorite part.
I got a beach ball.
We got 2 beach balls.
That's my favorite part.
The water.
I think his favorite part were the animals. My favorite part was probably the sharing of water, starting with the floats and then the people in the crowd just soaking the people on the floats. I thought that was awesome.
Staying dry may have been the hardest part of this event.
We got targeted.
Yeah, I got shot up by the football team.
Don't worry, fellas. I got soaked too. But it's all good, because this community really knows how to have a good time in celebrating America's birthday.
This is our first time, attending this as a family of 4. And, this was an incredible turnout. I love to see how the community came together, both from the float side and an organizational standpoint, putting it together, and then just the community that came out to observe and enjoy it. I thought it was a great turnout.
Reporting in Pocatello, I'm Cole Sams.